welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. I hope you have your tea or coffee on hand because we're about to get into something so good. It's all about that entertainment, baby. And I'm talking about biopics in particular. It's Bob Dylan. Yes, we're doing a movie review on him with the great JP Sebastian in the building. Happy New Year. Hello.
I'll take it again. Sure, thank you.
I will say that every time I see you because you don't come around that often.
You should. A hint?
You should.
Am I being served here?
Come around more. No. JP, okay, let's talk about this biopic. Never that. Bob Dylan?
Yeah, actually, like, I'm going to be honest, not a musician who, like, stuck the claws in me when I was growing up.
Okay.
So you'd hope that a biopic would, you know, bring you to go, maybe I've been missing out.
Right.
Obviously, I know a bunch of his songs. But look, whatever. Most important stuff that you've said already, you guys, is that Timothée Chalamet is Bob Dylan in this, and he's everyone's dreamboat for the past 20 years. Yeah, he's not a kid anymore, guys. He's like 29. Surprising.
What?
Yeah.
I need to ask, why do you think Timothy was a good pick for Bob Dylan in terms of just actually reviewing this movie?
Timothée Chalamet is like, as a Gen Z person, I suppose, like they refer to being locked in. Dude doesn't joke. Like, as an actor, locked in and in year two. But you know what? Let's have the people behind it, from the horse's mouths, as Ryle might say, talking about A Complete Unknown, which is out already for the past week. So I'm late to the story, but hey, that's very Bob of me to be late and lackadaisical about it all. Here it is, A Complete Unknown.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I want you to give a warm welcome to our friend, Mr.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan has written some of the most iconic songs of the last century.
Bob and his music reigns over culture.
I'm so infatuated with lyrics and songwriting, and that was Bob's genius.
Every music moment is super grounded and has a purpose. It's story-driven, it's character-driven. It was clear that we needed to do everything live.
It was important for me to sing and play on set because it was in the spirit of the movie to do it live.
He learns the entire thing, top to bottom. That's harmonica and guitar and vocal. It's pretty special.
Woody wants to hear something. You shy?
Not usually.
Come gather round, people, wherever you've roam.
And admit that the waters around you have grown and accepted it soon. Anyway, great song.
I was getting into it. I also love the fact that other great actors have joined Timothy in this movie. You mentioned your favorite, Ed Norton.
One of my faves, yeah. Ed Norton's on here as well, which
he was the Hulk,
is great, yeah. Yes,
that's what he's known for, like a bunch of stuff.
I mean,
American History X, I think.
Fight Club.
American History X also put him on the map for a lot of people.
Big time.
But whatever, it's...
and Alf Fanning, Dakota's sister.
That's
I really love her.
She's also a strange character. You were talking about them on the red carpets. I love how goofy they're willing to be, even as famous as these people are. But most important to us, sorry, the two nerds over here, Carissa, we're going to say the Dune Copper here. We got,
of course.
Lisan Al-Gaib, who is now going against Fade Routher, who played Elvis, obviously. Little connection.
You're speaking English right now. I don't know what you were saying.
That's why I warned you. I was like, just breathe your tea deep, because two nerds are about to go off. So, yeah, I'm just saying, look, two characters from Dune are, well, one was Elvis and now one is Bob Dylan. Anyway, so the story, as you said, is surprisingly from when he's 19. Because, like, Dylan is such a mythical figure. You think, well, you can throw the hammer down anywhere, and that would be an age, what he does in a year. I think since 1968, it's 55 albums.
Wow.
Good grief. How does a man who sings that badly get so much out? And he'd be the first man who'd say he sings badly. I'm not ripping him off. he'd admit that, which is actually funny about, like, Chalamet playing the harmonica and the guitar. Bob Dylan would be like, yeah, that was easy.
Sure.
I'm not great at that. I'm just playing.
But why was he so famous if he didn't sing that well?
So, I mean, this is the question, whatever, my griefs with Bob isn't technical, but I don't obviously want to make this the Bob segment, but it's a guy who captured the age, to be completely cliche. The movie is called A Complete Unknown. JP's here on the couch actually with no notes about this movie, even though he saw it.
That's fine.
I seen it.
Yes, we drove a horse earlier. Anything's possible. Don't worry.
And that's just partly the point. I'm not going to make that the save of the movie. I hate when people go, oh, that it says nothing is the point. But one of its victories is that Bob Dylan is an offensive blank space in America, in a country that's obsessed with data, in a country that's obsessed with filling all sorts of knowledge bodies and whatever.
Yeah.
He comes along and the story starts. I should tell you about the movie, guys. Jeez, we're getting into the philosophy. He first goes to visit Woody Guthrie, who is a true hero and an artist who I love dearly, where he's on his deathbed, and this is a 19-year-old who's like, I've got a song for you, dear folk hero, and that's where he finds. It's really Bob Dylan trying to find where do I fit in.
Yeah.
Because obviously all these songs, you know, it's about being a stranger. It's about being that weirdo in a new pub that you walked into and people looking at you funny, but you're this hunched dude with curly hair and a voice that sounds... That Timothée Chalamet, there's no affectation here where it feels like he's pulling a party trick as an actor. He really does. Like when I say locked in, you can't fault Timothée Chalamet for anything he's ever acted in. The dude is such a talented...
He was Willy Wonka too.
And a movie that people thought was going to be crud, but when it came along, Wonka was just fine. So yeah, the guy's an instinctive actor. You cannot fault him for anything. And James Mangold, the director, is he did Walk the Line. The Johnny Cash story with Joaquin Phoenix.
And Johnny Cash is apparently in here as well.
Yes, that's right, that's right.
Yeah.
So the whole family's in here, all sorts of fun you got, and all sorts of Americana and folk. And the story then comes to, again, being a stranger, finding your place. Am I folk, am I rock? And the fights that went along with that. So it culminates in him at the Newport Festival. Is he going to be accepted or not? Problems for JP is that, look, it's a biopic, and we see 500 of these per year, and that's not necessarily the end of the world, but do you want to write the Wikipedia article movie, or do you want to actually talk about how Bob is the zeitgeist, how he was the spirit of a time for a lot of people? Give me a biopic that's about the world, and the artist is almost secondary because he is the thermometer of the world. It's not sinful in that sort of design, but you have better offers. Todd Haynes, the director, did I'm Not There, maybe 15 years ago, where Cate Blanchett played Bob Dylan with Heath Ledger, with Christian Bale, with Richard Gere. 6 different amazing actors. Ben Whishaw all played Bob Dylan. That's a good recommendation from me. However, I've got to talk about A Complete Unknown. Hey, Mr. Director over there, do I have more time? Should I show you a clip? How's that?
Show me a clip.
Yeah, let's
he demands it.
Show me a clip.
Like
Give it to me.
Dance studio exec, breathing down my neck when I'm just trying to be an indie boy. A Complete Unknown. Let's look a bit more at the featurette. You sip your tea, weirdo.
Yeah.
What's yeehaw? Apache.
He was writing music that was more blunt about things that were going on.
Bob wouldn't let himself be boxed in, which for me as a young artist is the most inspiring.
For the times they are a-changing.
His genius and the power of his songs and personality ends up elevating him till he's bigger than the movement he was taken into.
Many of the artists through American pop culture that had the balls to turn their back on what was expected of them, that moment started with Bob.
Once upon a time, you're just so fine. Good bumps a dime in your prime. Didn't you?
Bob has really resisted categorization. He has resisted being put in a box.
I'm not sure they want to hear what I want to play, Johnny.
Make some noise, BD. Track some mud on carpet. Oh, how does it feel?
Words are relevant. Times they are changing is relevant. Blowing in the Wind is relevant.
This music's still all over the radio.
He changed folk music forever and music forever.
Like a complete unknown.
Wow.
Very cool.
Very good.
Every time we come back to studio, everyone has to be like, shut up, you don't sing along. We're recording a TV show here. Poor Sean, our
You do a good Bob Dylan, though, I will say. Popcorns?
Number out of 10. Just gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I'm sorry if it sounded like I was a lot more exuberant. But like I said, as far as biopics go, you can be a lot more interesting, especially at a time like now. Here's what biopics should do, guys, is... I mean, it's one of the things to do. It's very elementary for me to put it this way. It's a bit childish. But, like, why don't these movies operate as a manual? J.P. Carissa or Carl goes, how do I follow the path? How do I achieve greatness? How do I... And everything, just like I said, plays very much out like a menu. Like you're going, oh, then he had a baby. Then he wrote the album. Then he had a divorce. But how about a spiritual manual on how to live, how to be? And Bob is, I suppose, the avatar for that for a lot of people. So, hey, if you're a fan, this movie's for you.
Quick one. What's your favorite biopic of all time? I need to ask that. I'm sorry, I have to, because, I mean, this is... You said a couple of great things about what a biopic should be, so I'd like to know which one do you think hits the mark? Has one hit the mark yet?
No, you're going to have to ask me about second segment when you talk about Luther Vandross.
Okay, good.
So come back for that.
Yes, please. So to give it some thought, I'd love to hear, because as you rightly said, it's like this is an avatar of a certain zeitgeist, and you want to feel that.
Yeah.
Movies should be nutritious, guys.
Yes.
Biopics should feed us. And I'd highly recommend I'm Not There from, like I said, 15 years ago. Excellent.
Are we not putting too much pressure on biopics?
No. Not at
It's
all.
a story
because
about a life.
these are real life. Because they have all the material there.
And they're Oscar bait as well. It's like, it's
Okay.
very easy to be like, hey, I'm going to get the trophies because I did the party act. Like, hey, I'm Dylan, even though... Yes, Shalimar was excellent in it.
Great.
I'm
well,
over speaking about stuff we know completely nothing about.
it's okay. Well,
It is a complete unknown.
Yes,
Exactly. I love
there.
this.
We've done that joke 5 times. There's a TV show to do.
JP, okay, 7 out of 10. You're
guys
supposed
off.
to laugh, not, please, don't give us a side eye. 7 out of 10. Ryle, what have you got for us? Please tell us. Save us.
Mean.